Welcome to Halachot of Niddah. This will be part 15 of the class. Today's topic, the Vesed of the month. In Hebrew it's called Vesed HaChodesh. In the previous class we spoke about Vesed HaFlaga. And in the class before that class we spoke about Ona Benonit. Ona Benonit is the average Ona. It's 30 days after the last time that you saw. You count 30 days including the time that you saw, and on the 30th day you stay away from your husband when it comes to having relations. Then we saw the Vesed HaFlaga, the interval cycle. The interval cycle works when she sees her period for the first time. Now she has to wait until she's going to see her period the second time. Once she gets her period the second time, I'm going to tell her, count, including the day that she saw the blood, count that as day one. Continue counting until you get to the last time that you saw, which was the second seeing. Include that in the count. How many days was from the first time she saw to the second time that she saw? How many days passed? In the previous class, we used 25 days. So again, next time around, she has to be afraid for the 25-day interval and for the 30-day average Ona. We explained if the 25th day interval came first, you don't have to be afraid of the average Ona because now she's going to be bleeding all those days. But if the 25th day interval did not come, now you have to be afraid of the average Ona. Today, Rabotai, we want to learn the monthly Vesed, which is called Vesed HaChodesh. This, Rabotai, is very easy to calculate. This is called the monthly cycle. Again, this is a makeshift calendar. I'm picking different dates so you guys can get accustomed to how to go ahead and do this one day yourselves, B'ezrat Hashem. So what does it mean, Vesed HaChodesh? What does that mean, the monthly cycle? What does that mean? Very simple. This is actually the most simplest one. If the woman saw on the month of Av, on the 18th of the month of Av, next month, Rabotai, which is the month of Elul, she has to stay away from her husband on the 18th of Elul. So what does Vesed HaChodesh mean? It means that whatever date of the month that you got your period on, besides the Ona Benoni that you have to be afraid of, besides the Vesed HaFlaga you have to be afraid of, now we're going to see today it's correct to also be afraid of Vesed HaChodesh. One more time, Vesed HaChodesh is whatever date you got it, next month, that same date, it's better to stay away from your husband. Now, Rabotai, I want to just show you something. As you guys can see, I made the numbers on the bottom. Like usual, Rabotai, the top numbers are the dates of the month. These bottom numbers over here where I wrote 1, right, 2, 3, all these numbers on the bottom is the days until she's anticipating that her period is going to come. So I want to just show you something, Rabotai. Let's say this woman received on the month of 18. So now, Rabotai, she has 3 vestot, 3 anticipated periods when she's expecting the blood flow to come. So one of them is Ona Benonit, second one is Vesed HaFlaga, third one we're learning today is the Vesed HaChodesh. So let's go step by step. Let's say this woman has 2 vestot, Ona Benonit, she has to be afraid of because she's a woman who does not have a fixed vesed. And she also has to be afraid of the Vesed HaFlaga. So what are we going to do? This woman saw on the 18th of Av. Beautiful. We're going to count on the 18th of Av, it's going to be day 1. Now she has 2 vestot, one for day 25, one for day 30, which is the Ona Benonit. So we're going to count date number 18, we're going to make that day number 1. That's when she saw the blood. Okay, Rabotai, you get it, yeah? She saw the blood on the 18th of Av. which is going to be the first day, and the 19th of Av is going to be the second day to her seeing. Third day, fourth day, so on and so forth. Fifth day, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Rabotai, since this woman has a vesed haflaga, let's say in our case, we made it to be 25 days, that means when she received her period on the 18th of Av, 25 days later, she has to be afraid right over here. This is 25 days later, right over here. Right over here. This is 25 days later, where she has to stay away from her husband. She has to see if she's going to get a period. She didn't get a period. She does the bidika. No problem. She's allowed to be with her husband on the 26th day from the last time that she saw. Now she has to be afraid for day 30, which is the average owner. Good. So we put over here 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 right over here. Now day 30 came. Rabotai, listen to this beautiful piece. Now day 30th came, which is the average owner. So we see right now, she had to be afraid for two vestot. Up to now, we've been learning two vestot. So one of them is the vesed haflaga, the other one is the ona benonit. Today's class comes and teaches me what happens if she did not receive it on the average ona. We're going to tell you it is correct for her to be afraid for the vesed of the chodesh of the last month. What was the vesed of the chodesh last month? Let's go back. When did she get it last month? On the 18th of the month. She got on the 18th of the month. Beautiful. That means next month she has to be afraid for the 18th of the month, right over here. Oh. I don't know if you guys could see it, not see it. Let me just make it lighter. There we go. Rabotai, so it comes out that a woman, while she's tahor, you have to really be concerned about her vesed haflaga, the interval cycle, the ona benonit, the average cycle, and now we're learning today for the first time vesed hachodesh, the monthly cycle, which means to say that on whatever date she got it last month, the following month you're gonna have to. It's correct for you to stay away from your wife on that date of the month. So one more time, Rabotai. If the woman received it on the 18th of the month of Av, on the 18th of the Elul, she has to stay away from her husband. How's it going to work? The same like it does by any other vestot. If she received the blood on the 18th of the day, good. She's going to stay away only from her husband on the 18th of the day. So Rabotai, we see over here how many vestot so far we came up with when a woman is tahor. So let's go back now and let's see Rav David Yosef Shlita. Here we go. V'nachon lifrosh mi'isha she'en la vesed kavua. Over here he uses the language v'nachon. He doesn't say you have to, but he says it is correct, which it makes it a little bit better. V'nachon lifrosh mi'isha she'en la vesed kavua. It is correct to separate from a woman who does not have an established cycle, gam biyom hachodesh. So too on the day of the month, dahainu, which means to say, biyom shecha bo oto ta'arich ivri shebo ra'ata bepam hachrona. On that day that the Jewish date fell out on, that is what you have to be afraid the next time around. This is why it is very crucial to use a Hebrew calendar. Only a Hebrew calendar. So let me just show you over here. Since the ta'arikh, since the date in the month of Av when she saw was on the 18th, you have to be afraid for that date in the following month, in the month of Elul, on the 18th. That's besides what you have to also be afraid for the interval and the average ona. Rabotai, when you learn like this, ask anyone, even the one that teaches these halachot, ask them, Rabotai, see how much, honestly, I'm not chas v'shalom telling you that you should embarrass them. No, just as them normally, see how much they know, Rabotai, because all these halachot, it's many halachot. It's not just, a woman saw blood, don't touch it, don't sleep with her, and that's it. It doesn't work like that. There's days, even when she's tahor, you cannot sleep with her, like we're seeing now. So comes back into the halacha. So comes, says Rav David Yosef, Dahainu biyom shecha bo oto tarikh ivri, on the day that her period came out to be on the date of the Hebrew calendar, that she saw there the last time. That's going on a woman who is that's going on a woman who is not established. But however, what happens if you have a woman who has an established cycle? We still didn't see how a woman has an established cycle. Don't worry about it. You don't need to separate from her on the average owner. Only you have to separate from her on her established veset. And she doesn't need anything more. So I'll put it to you like this, Rabotai. We'll see, once we get to Ves Kavuo, this will become clear. I'm just reading it because he brought it down in his book. But Rabotai, the beauty of having a woman who has an established cycle is that she doesn't ever have to worry for any other cycles. She only has to worry for one cycle and one cycle only. Whatever she's fixed on, that's what you're always going to be afraid of. There's no Ona Benoni, no Ves HaChodesh. You don't have these things, Rabotai. We always go after her established cycle. So one more time, and then we'll do a small review. It is correct to separate from a woman who does not have an established cycle also on the day of the month, which means to say that the last time when she saw, on which Hebrew date did it fall out on, that's the date, the next month, you're going to stay away from your wife. Again, it's correct. However, if you have a woman who has an established cycle, you do not need to separate from her on the average owner. Only you're going to separate from her on her established cycle, and she doesn't need anything else. She doesn't have to be afraid for any other veset. Rabotai, I'm not going to write the other one. We have over here the rule for a woman without a fixed veset, and then also Rav David Yosef said the rule for a woman with a fixed veset. Since we don't really know what that is yet, I'm going to leave that out. I'm just going to say what we need to learn. So he said like this: the rule for a woman without a fixed veset, her husband must separate from her also on Yom HaChodesh, the same Hebrew calendar date of the month on which she last saw her period. Again, the same Hebrew calendar date of the month on which she last saw her period. So in our case, if she saw it on the 18th of Av, when is she going to be afraid? She's going to be afraid on Elul 18. Okay?